We're here each and every day, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. I want you to know that you can write your comments in either format, and I get them. And when I get your comments, it helps me take the conversation where you might want to take it. Hey, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, Lee Wolak, please do. We're almost at 9,000 subscribers. We should hit it in the next 2 days. So be one of those people. So today, I thought we'd talk about what can free us. And I think that comes from the idea that if we can just remember that we are not what we're seeing, but we are the ones seeing it. Now that may sound simple, but that's not easy, because what we do is we tend to really identify with what we're seeing, what we're experiencing. We're identifying with our bodies, we're identifying with our minds, and yet when you realize it, who's watching this body? Who's observing these thoughts? That's who we are. And when we can do that, we detach from so much pain, so much sorrow, so much misery, because what we've done is we've identified ourselves as something we're not. And that's what the ego loves to do. The ego loves to take us to that place of identifying with the body and that type of thing. I'm not saying that you don't have experiences in the body or the mind, but it's not who you are. You're something much greater than that. And that's something that has to be practiced all the time, over and over and over again. This whole thing about becoming aware, it is really a process. And guess what? You're never going to get there. It's a constant process, because why? You become aware, the ego takes you back. You become aware, the ego takes you back. You become aware, the ego takes you back. It's what the process of life is. That's how we experience. So I love the idea of experiencing life, but it's also about realizing that experience is just that. It's an experience. And then what do? We get tapped in. We get tapped in. We want to have that one experience over and over and over and over again. And we get very disappointed when we don't, but we don't realize that if we keep having the same experience over again, we get bored. I don't know about you, but I get bored after a period of time. If I have a certain food over and over and over and over and over again, I get bored. I like newness. I like to be flexible. I like to try new things. And I think that's why we're here. But in order to do that, in order to be free from the past, to be from that, we've got to realize I'm not the past. The past is not who I am. And yet we keep dragging that little monkey in with us all the time. And that monkey controls how we look at things. How many people here have been in one relationship and it's been a stinky relationship, a really bad relationship? And then every relationship you go into after that, you keep having similar relationship. Why? Because you dragged in the old one. You didn't realize that that experience was not who you are. You've got to step outside and observe. Wait, I'm not that experience. I'm having that experience. That experience is not who I am. That experience doesn't bind me to having that experience again and again and again. And when you can come and be the observer, you realize as you observe, you can see if you're going to go back into that same experience, and you can say, no, I'm not going back in there. I'm going to change it. And that's where your power comes. When you realize that you have the ability to change your experience, now you're a conscious and a powerful creator. And then it doesn't matter who you're with. You'll have the relationship you want, because you can choose how to direct it. You can choose how to view it. You can choose how long to be with it. And you see, we don't realize that. We have the ability to make these choices. The observer that we are can make a new choice in a nanosecond. And when the observer makes that choice, everything changes. Everything changes. You see, it's our thoughts that change our lives. But our thoughts, if not acted upon, can't change anything. You see, it's having the thought and taking the action from the place of the observer that gives us our power. And we can reclaim that power, Kai, anytime we want. And we're free to claim it anytime we want, no matter what our past has been. Our past does not have to determine us. It does not have to determine what we're going to experience, who we are, all that. We can release the past. And when we do, we clear the slate and we can start again. Pretty simple, just not easy. That ego just loves to get in there, doesn't it? The ego just loves it. So I see everybody saying hello. Hey, I'm grateful you're saying hello. I love that you're there. Give me some comments and I'll talk more about whatever you want to talk about. This is your time. If you didn't hear me at the beginning, please subscribe on YouTube. We're like within 25 subscribers of being at 9,000 subscribers. Why do I care about that? Why not? The more people get the message. I look at sharing. When you find good stuff out, it's only natural to share. Here's what I did a talk a couple of weeks ago, last week, in fact, that when we love others, we can't wait to share. We can't wait to share when we love others. If we don't want to share, we've got to go back to the basic premise that I don't love myself. Because we can't share if we don't love ourselves. Because we don't feel we're filled. We don't feel we have enough. We don't feel we have enough to give. So I see all these people out there. We got Kentucky. We got New York. We got North Carolina. We've got India. We've got, let me see if there's anyone else. Bay City, Oregon out there. We've got people from Orlando, Florida. There are people from all over the world. Isn't that just great? Love that. Guilt and grief makes it difficult for me to release the past. Well, guess what, Amy? That's because you think that you were the event. You think you were that was who you were. You've got to detach from that and realize you were observing that experience. And when you were just the observer, you realize there was no good or bad. It was just an experience that'll lead you to have a different experience. You'll learn your lesson. Once you've learned your lesson, you don't have to go back and repeat it over and over and over again. Forgiveness is really not about, it's about seeing the balance in life. Forgiveness is always about seeing the balance of life. It's seeing it through the third eye, which does not see the duality. The duality is the thing that sees one side or the other. And when we see one side or the other, we get the attachment. We get that thing where we become the event because we want, we're so attached to the pleasure. Guess what? A lot of people are attached to the pain. And you say, why would that be? Because they get attention. I've seen it 1,000 times. People say, I've got this problem. And people go, oh, you poor baby. That's feeding them. They're getting fed. That's how artificial intelligence and social media works. Every time you get a like, oh my God. Every time you get a like, there's dopamine being released. So everybody out there, hit the like button right now. I need some dopamine, please. Or hit the heart button. I'll get a double dose of dopamine, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. I don't care. Do it on any platform you want. I love it. I just love to play. I want you to know that. So this idea of being the observer, not easy, but it's worth the work. It's really, really, really worth the work. So you don't have to, you are not what you experience. You are the observer of what you experience. And that, my friends, is very freeing. So with that in mind, I'm going to let you go create your great day today. Because you know what? That's all you've got to do. Your job today is to create your great day. Do it from the standpoint of being the observer. And if no one tells you this today, I will. I love you and I accept you just like you are. Go be you. It's more than enough. Aloha.